This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We caught up with Ellie, who has set a little bit of a condition to her moving in with her partner.
A little bit.
It's that there must be plantation shutters installed in the house. She reckons she's going to pay for it.
Well, she's not.
She
She's
is
not.
not
And they're
going
not
to
cheap.
pay for it.
No.
She says on air she's going to pay for it. She's a liar. Because then afterwards she goes, yeah, I probably won't pay for it. Anyway, so we're looking at between, Dougie will have to fork out between $5,000 and $10,000.
It's what we call conditional love.
yeah.
Not
That is
unconditional.
conditional. That is very
Ali has
highly
told us if
conditional.
anyone is out there with the plantation shutter company and they're looking for a spokesperson, she
Yes.
is.
She can
she's
model
bang up
shutters
for it.
too. She's amazing.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
When you shut a shutter on her, she never looks better.
And she looks like she grew up on a plantation. So it's meant to be.
Matt's in Dayton. G'day, Matt.
Hi team, how are you this morning?
Here we
Good,
go,
buddy.
Matt.
We're talking about conditions that people put on things to get what they want, Matt. What happened?
So it's a little bit convoluted, but I wanted to move in with my girlfriend a couple of years ago. She had her own place.
Yeah.
Her mother set a condition on her that I wasn't allowed to move in until she cleared out the spare room to be my room for all my nerdy stuff and everything to do with me, that it was my room to be able to escape her whenever
Yes.
I needed.
So
Oh, that's nice of her.
The girl's mum had your interests at heart.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
So made sure that you had a
Man
nerdy
cave.
action figurine man cave situation.
Absolutely, yes.
So wait there. So did she do it?
Yes, she did. And I married her a couple of years later. We built a house, and I still have my own nerd room.
There
There
you
you go,
go.
Matt.
Matt.
The standards were set early.
The nerd
The
room.
You must
conditions
be
were in place.
such a catch, Matt.
He's a catch, you
What's
can
in
tell.
the nerd room?
About $6,000 or $7,000 worth of figurines, action figures, games, Xbox, all that sort of junk.
Can you sell those so Ellie can buy some shutters?
Almost
No,
exactly
they're all out of the box.
Oh,
They're
have,
not all out
you,
of the
have you
box.
taken it? Why'd you take it all out of the box?
to play with.
Oh, because I put them in display in little dioramas and stuff.
But dude, you know that's when they've lost all their value.
Yeah, but he's getting value out of enjoying playing with them.
He's not
Yeah,
playing.
I'm
You're not playing
looking
with.
to
Are you,
Putting them in
I bought them
dioramas.
because I want them.
are you playing with
playing
them?
with
Are you
them.
playing with them?
No, I've just set up dioramas to make it
That's
look
playing
like an
with them,
actual
Matt.
thing.
That's what playing with them is.
So okay, so you set up a
Once
diorama.
it's set up, I don't touch them again.
Does the diorama? So is it like a preconceived diorama, or you just feel it like there's-
You're making
yeah,
that up.
Yeah.
So just imagine like the IKEA cubes, and in each section I've got a different theme going on. So I have a Marvel box, I have a Joker box, I have a Hulk box, Rick and Morty. Every box has its
I
own
Rick and
theme with
Morty.
just
I love Rick and Morty.
collectibles.
Does the diorama change? Do you mix them up
If
sometimes?
I get really bored every couple of years, I'll just change it all up.
Right,
But
that's
for the
playing
most
with it.
part,
That's
once
playing
it's
with it.
set,
Playing with it.
It's 100% playing with
Okay,
them.
fine, I
We've got
play
it.
with it.
Yeah, okay. Now, a lot of people are probably going, wait, there, we need to see these dioramas, so do us a favour, will you send us some photos?
Absolutely. You tell me where. I've got plenty of photos already saved.
It's ready to go.
I
Good on you,
times. Thanks, Maddie. Beck's at Alchemos. Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey, Beck. Okay. Have you placed a condition?
Yeah, so a while ago now, I was dating my boyfriend, and there's a bit of an age gap between us. It was 6 years, and he wanted to have his first child before he turned 30.
Yeah.
And I said to him that I'm not having any kids until I'm married.
Yeah.
So he popped the question. We got married. We got pregnant 6 months after the wedding, and we had our first daughter 3 months before he turned 30.
Okay, the
Oh.
timeline. So all he had to
Yeah,
do
it
was
was.
marry you. That's all.
Yeah.
Yep. And we're coming up to our 10-year anniversry next month.
Does he always
Congratulations, Beck.
does he always bring up that you
Trapped him into
forced
marriage.
him to marry him?
No, not at all.
Because I know
We're
him and he
just-
does.
Well, to be fair, he forced her to have a baby. So,
Beck, 10
swings
years
and
at it.
roundabouts.
When's he start wearing thin on you, Beck? You've lasted 10 years.
No, he hasn't. He's still just the love of my life.
Really?
Oh,
Do you
listen
when
to
that.
he's away?
So
do you,
odd to hear
say
now.
when he goes to work, do you miss him?
I miss him because he used to work night shifts, and I used to miss him every night when he wasn't there.
Oh, really,
Yeah.
Sean?
I can't comprehend this conversation.
Doesn't understand what's happening.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
We are talking about when people are not happy with the name that their parents gave them. Inspired off of a child, a little boy whose mother called him P-H-E-I-R-T, which is fart.
It's hard to imagine another pronunciation. Lisbeth, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Now,
Hi, Lisbeth.
do you not like your name?
Well, Actually, it's not necessarily that I don't like it. I've just never been called it because everyone calls me Elizabeth.
Sure.
I know,
Of
it is
course.
like you're missing a vowel, isn't
Yes.
it?
So why
Well-
Lisbeth? Lisbeth.
Well, my mother actually had Lisbeth from a book and then wanted it to be a bit different and called me Lisbeth.
So with a Z.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a Z. But then I didn't learn and I called my daughter Eloisa and she gets Eloise. So,
Yeah, of course. Of course
like,
it does.
you know, I can't be the only one going through
No.
life with it, can I?
Does it frustrate you, Elizabeth, that
Oh,
it's
it
Elizabeth? Because that's
does.
what I'd think
And
straight away.
It really does frustrate me because I actually hate the name Elizabeth, which is sad. But my good friends actually do call me Lisbeth, and I really like hearing that. But
Yes.
yeah,
I have to say, it doesn't feel right in your mouth, Lisbeth.
Lisbeth.
It feels like you're doing it wrong, Sean. You
Yeah,
know
it
when-
does.
Take it out of your mouth.
You do it right.
Take it out of your mouth.
Well said, Elizabeth. Thank you. Nancy, hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi,
Nancy, do you not like your name?
No, as a 7-8-year-old child, I just felt like I should have a walking stick and grey hair. I just thought it completely only suited old people.
You know what? It is an old lady's name, and I'm going to actually say that straight away. Even if, like, and how many people would have gone Fancy Nancy as well?
Of
I mean,
course,
you would have
well,
heard that a
Oh,
thousand
please
times.
don't.
It's like when my
Yeah.
mum was a child, like a baby, and who looks at a baby and says Marlene? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And there's
Yeah.
actually a
No.
younger Marlene
Yeah.
that calls in Australia. I think she's in her 30s.
Yeah, I went to school with a Marlene as well.
Yeah,
My Nana,
Yeah, no, it doesn't
my
suit.
Nana was a Shirley. Like that's again.
That's
You're
a
already
Nana's
born
name.
into in the 60s. You're a 60-year-old.
I feel
straight
like
up.
a Shirley could come back around. I think Shirley will forever be
Ooh.
young because of Shirley Temple.
Yeah,
But
it
is-
hasn't, though.
But hasn't it?
No.
There'd be a Shirley out there, a young Shirley.
Nancy, did you know any other Nancys your age?
No,
No.
definitely
It's
not.
hard, isn't it?
Absolutely not.
No.
You guys need to check out the movie Duplex with Drew Barrymore because there's a scary old lady in the attic called Nancy. And everyone's like, oh, like Nancy. Oh, Nancy.
Nancy.
And it's like, oh, no, stop. It just,
Nancy.
yeah, it was torturous.
Nancy,
But
did
do
you
you want
ever...
to hear something even worse?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
what?
You know what name I wanted as a 7 or 8-year-old?
Oh, okay, this will be good. What?
Bernadette.
Bernadette.
Has anything changed?
I'm like, I don't like either of them. I'm like, what was I thinking? That's kind of equivalent.
And
Or, I don't know.
Can I say, and then that would have been shortened to Bernie,
Bernie,
and
yeah.
Bernie would be Nancy's husband.
Oh, no, I don't know. I didn't. My brain wasn't fully growing. Just so you know.
If I was
Yes.
going to be a girl, if I was a girl, my
Yeah.
mum, the name my mum had selected for me was Marnie. I
Marnie,
would have been
yeah.
Marnie Morris.
Thank you, Nancy. Linda, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi,
Linda.
All right, Linda. Do you not like your name?
No, not too used to, I suppose, but definitely as a teenager, I certainly didn't. I was in high school, and that was when the Linda appliances all came out.
Sleep
Yes,
wonderfully
we warm with Linda.
Yeah, you definitely know that one.
It's a tough
So
time to
all
be
through
Linda,
high-
or a great time to be Linda, depending on how you looked at it.
Yeah, that's it. So that's all I got all through high school. So, yeah, that was just not a great time for me at all.
I know,
So,
because straight away
yeah.
they would have thought, oh, yeah, you can get some with Linda.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's it.
It's well-known fact
Yeah.
that you sleep wonderfully warm with
And
Linda.
then I remember there was a spate of Linda electric blankets electrocuting people. So Linda became a killer.
So then no one wanted to sleep with Linda.
No one wanted to sleep with Linda because you would die.
Tough time, Linda. Thank you. Val, hello.
Oh, hello.
Hi,
Okay,
Val.
Val, what have you got for us?
Oh, well, my brother's name, it's not his first name. It's actually his middle name. It's meant to be James, but my parents spelled it Gemes, so we always called him Gemmies.
Gemmies.
G-E-M-E-S.
I feel like they were
What are you
misspelling
doing?
James.
Why did they do that?
Just to be
Yeah,
different.
I think my parents just thought, we're going to keep James in the family because it was one of the great grandfathers,
Yes.
but we'll spell it a little bit differently. So, we always used to just give him a lot of crap about his middle name.
I'm not surprised. That is shocking. Don't do that to your
That is
children.
shocking.
You're John, aren't you?
Yes. And
You don't. What
Monica.
are you? Monica. That's
Monica
right.
and
Monica.
Brian.
That
and
was my
Brian.
great grandmother's
That's
name.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Monica,
Have a look at us.
I knew nobody whose name was Monica at the time when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I couldn't
Monica.
spell it. It was just to me. I might have, it might have been given a Martian name. I was so mystified by it. And then now I'm like, oh, that's a cool name.
Where did
'Cause
it come from?
It's my great grandmother's
Okay,
name. So
there you go.
everybody, all my friends, their middle names were Marie.
Yeah, yeah.
Or Louise.
My
That's
mum's
it. They were
Marie.
the only
Yeah,
two middle
right.
names that
Yeah.
existed. So Monica's like, oh, God, that's out of the box.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Shaun.
Now, one thing we know and love here in this country is Chris Hemsworth.
Of course.
Of course we do.
He's just
We'll take the lesser
amazing.
Hemsworths as well if they're on offer, but obviously he's the pinnacle.
Yeah.
The pick
he's
of the
a
bunch.
cracker.
Yeah, and one thing that's always confused us a little bit is his friendship with Matt Damon, just because we know that Matt Damon's best friend is Ben Affleck, and we've always wondered what poor, miserable Ben's feeling about this.
Yeah, well, they're off
Yeah.
holidaying together and
Yeah.
jumping in
Borrow
one
May.
another's private jets,
Yeah,
etc.
yeah. So Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have done yet another movie together. It's called Air. They've been doing the press, and they were asking Ben about coming to Australia and why we don't see him here this much. And he says he loves Australia, and then he went on to say Matt's basically, as far as I can tell, an honorary citizen. He's there so much. He's friends with Chris Hemsworth, and I think that shows enormous character of Matt to be friends with a guy so much younger and better looking than him, which is true.
That's true, for sure.
Because it doesn't mean if you're even in your own right very good looking. Next to Chris Hemsworth, you're a
Yes.
bridge troll.
And you know that Chris has always got his shirt off.
Yeah, so he says
True.
I was talking about how it's good in practice being friends with him, but I don't want to sit next to Chris Hemsworth in photographs, so I applaud Matt.
Yes.
And he says that he would love to come along and spend some time with Matt and Chris,
Yes.
but he will not take his shirt off.
It's
nor
too big a
be
risk.
any proximity near
Yeah.
him. And think about that though. Chris Hemsworth, I mean, isn't meaning to do it, but is keeping Ben Affleck out of this country.
That's right.
And Ben Affleck doesn't feel like he can come and enjoy the wonders that Australia has to offer. Girt by sea,
Disappointing.
some would say, girt by sea. He's not
Because
going to
of
be
Chris Hemsworth.
be able to experience the girt.
He could come over this side because Chris Hemsworth is hardly ever here. Like,
That's
it's a big
true.
country.
That's true.
It's a
Yeah.
big
Last
country.
time he was here was up in Carnarvon at Woolies.
Yeah.
But
So-
maybe Chris Hemsworth's hotness is so extreme that it blankets the entire country, and therefore Chris cannot come girt by sea.
We are all in his shadow, that's for sure.
definitely
Yeah, and it just brought me to think about other people who have been in this situation. When you have an insanely hot person in your life and it impacts you in a negative way because you're not.
How is it working with us, Shaun?
Well, I get that all the time.
Sean, has this thing ever happened to you or perhaps a friend of yours with a name that rhymes like yours?
Yes, this has happened to me over the journey. I will say that I probably have a story to take us to Ross's shift. Like, I've got
That
15,
many?
16, I've got that many. But I'm going to narrow it down to quick to off the
Okay.
top of my head.
Well, do that then.
When I
That
first,
would be great.
Anytime you like.
when I first moved out of home, we moved into this joint in Leeming, and it was me, my brother, and another guy, Hayden, to start off with. And Hayden was a guy who I thought he was a good-looking guy. I don't know in my mind whether he's Fabio or not, but anyway.
Did you think you were equivalently hot?
Oh, I would, in my mind, probably
Up there?
probably down a level, but
Yes.
certainly, around the mark. Anyway, we're at the big
You were
house one
playing
night.
AFL football, so that
Just started.
elevates you.
Yeah,
That
I was getting
adds
a
2
freebie.
inches.
Yeah.
I was getting a freebie. Anyway, so we're at Metro's, and then gets towards my end of the night anyway.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to make a move. And this girl comes up to me. She goes, are you going home shortly? And I said, yes. And she
Yeah,
goes,
yeah.
oh, can I get a lift with you? Can I come back to your house? And I was like, oh,
Absolutely.
he's done it again.
Wow, he's amazing. He's amazing.
He is good.
He's amazing.
So anyway, we turn up to my house in Bull Creek, get out of the cab, and she says thanks, and then walks to the door, beats me to the front door, which
Yeah.
I thought was odd, and then just walks directly down the hallway to my friend's room.
So you literally.
So that was the first time.
Well,
Well,
you
you're paying-
you paid for the cab to her to get to your mate.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what did you do? You just sat in the You just sat in the.
I just went to
lounge
bed.
room?
Just cried
On
a
your
bit.
own.
Went to bed. Went to bed. Do you have another story as well?
Same guy, me and my mate Hayden. We one of our friends went to the Desperate and Dateless balls. He went a couple of times in a row. This
don't
one was at
mercy.
Metro's in the city.
Yes.
And we went to pick him up later on in the night. He was and we went inside. He said, come inside. And we went inside and we were standing up in the balcony. And I said to Hayden, we've got to get out here in a second. Anyway, this chick she does a beat. I'm standing next to Hayden. She's a beeline towards me.
Yes. Yeah.
And she just, at the last moment, just veers to the left and goes, you are so beautiful. To my mate Hayden, who's
Hayden.
literally next door.
So did she push you slightly out of the way?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
What
not
the hell? And who out of a
you.
woman says you are beautiful to a man? I've never heard that.
Can I see a photo of Aiden? Because he sounds amazing. and if it can be so bold, can he sit in between us from now on?
Ben Affleck won't come to Australia in case he's accidentally photographed standing next to Chris Hemsworth, because that just makes him look too ordinary, and he's not happy about that.
It's pretty full on, because that means that J-Lo won't come with him as well.
Yeah, that's right. So
which
then
is
we miss
ridiculous.
out.
We miss out. Yeah,
Because of Chris Hemsworth.
And we're just talking about how having an insanely hot person in your life can affect you in a negative way. Hello, Ruby.
Hi,
So,
Ruby.
everybody, this is Ruby, of course, answers the phones, but she's the star of the Early Show.
The
with
Harry and
Ruby.
Ruby
Harry.
Show.
So, yep, if you're up early, be listening.
Yeah. So, has this happened to you, Ruby? Because you're actually very attractive.
So, no, on a Hinge, the dating app,
Yes.
you know, put up your photos. People can reply to them in
Yes.
a prompt comment.
Yeah.
And it's good to have photos of you and friends on there, you know.
To show that you've got friends.
Yeah, totally. Like, you can't just have 5 selfies. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a bit, you know. And yeah, this guy replied to one of my photos the other week and said, "Oh, who's your mate on the left?" I'm like, this is actually my profile, but yeah, safe to say we didn't match.
I don't know about you, Ruby. What about
It's difficult. It's difficult being in the shadow of
I
your
don't know
hot
her name,
friend.
but I'm on the right.
That's me.
Sam's in Belia. Morning, Sam.
Good morning.
Hey, Sam.
Did a hot person impact your life?
Mine's a bit of a double whammy. So I've got a younger sister, and she's absolutely drop dead gorgeous.
Oh.
Whenever we go out, would your mum like a drink too? Constantly getting
no.
Ouch.
out. I show people photos. They're like, "Oh my God, she's stunning. You guys really don't look anything alike."
Sam.
and then
you can't stop.
And then I've also
being her
got
sister.
yeah, it's not nice. But then my mum is a very young mum and is a complete MILF.
Yeah.
In high school, it was engraved in the table I sit at, Sam's mum's a MILF. Constantly get asked if we're sisters. And then to top it all off, she's now dating one of my 36-year-old friends who's the same age as me.
Your mum's
Sam.
amazing.
Well, yeah, maybe to you. No.
Sam.
Oh, and to your friend, apparently.
Sam.
That is amazing.
Oh, Sam, you're
Can I ask,
surrounded.
you know how you were mistaken as your sister's mother?
Mum.
What's the age difference between you and your sister?
11 years,
Yeah.
but
Oh, that's
come
not
on, I'm
good.
only
It's not enough.
35.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, I know.
That's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
good, is
Yeah.
it? You're not a mother.
I'm
tough.
sure you're all right too, Sam.
No, yeah,
Well,
but just
I hope
not as
so.
good as your sister and your
I
mum.
know.
Or your mum, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Sam. That's hurtful.
I'm
That's-
not
that
saying,
gets you.
I'm just here. putting it out.
Lisa's in Ocean Reef. Hello.
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning,
Hello,
Lisa.
Has a hot person impacted your life?
It certainly has. So I'm one of 4 children. We all went to the same school. I was at my 20-year school reunion talking to a couple of the guys, and they were like, "Are you the police officer?" And I said, "No, I'm the nurse." And they said, the other one said, "No, that's her sister. She's the hot one."
Oh,
Lisa.
yeah. That really gets
I mean,
you
they
there.
shouldn't say it right in front of you, should
No,
they?
no, wait till you
Have
turn
some
your
good
back.
grace to do it when you go to the bar or
My
something.
whole school reunion.
Yeah.
Sweetheart.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well, you're hot adjacent,
Hot
so that's
siblings. Like hot
I know,
siblings.
because when it's a friend
It's
or
so
like a
mean
you can,
of
or a
your
workmate, you
parents.
can get rid of them. But when it's a sibling, you're stuck with them for the rest of your life, being hotter than
My
you.
brother was considerably hotter than me, and I just always looked at mum and dad like, that's on you. What did you do on the night you created me
And
to make
they're
this?
different.
Don't
They
try that
stirred the
position
muddy end of the
again.
gene
Like,
pool.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's really mean.
Michelle's in Caramar. Hi, Michelle.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good,
Oh,
Michelle.
Michelle, we're just sitting over here not being hot. How about you?
So a long time ago, this is my parents and my mum and her best friend Joyce were on a bus one night going into the city.
Yeah.
And there was 2 hot guys upstairs on the bus, and one of them wanted to go out with Joyce, who was a really good-looking guy.
Yeah.
My mum talked them out of, or talked her out of going out with this guy because my mum didn't want to get stuck with the ugly guy.
Yes.
And it turned out that it was John Lennon and Paul McCartney.
No way.
Really?
Okay,
Michelle.
so which
who's
was
the
the ugly
ugly
guy?
one?
Was John
I'll
Lennon
say
the
John
ugly
Lennon.
one?
John Lennon was the ugly one.
Yeah.
John
I
Lennon
think
was
so.
the ugly
Lennon.
one.
Yeah, you would think
Yeah,
so.
and
I think so.
Yes, yeah.
Joyce never forgave my mum for talking her out of it.
Yes. So Joyce could have hooked up with Paul McCartney and your mum would have been lumbered
could
with
have done.
John Lennon.
Mate,
Yeah,
there you go.
that's the
Another
story,
episode
yeah.
of Joyce's Choices.
Yeah, I know, exactly. That's an amazing story, Michelle.
That's great.
Amazing.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
This is an amazing story, which was just a series of things going wrong,
Yes.
which resulted in a lot of police officers.
A major incident.
So a guy named Jamie, he is a Muay Thai boxing trainer in Sydney.
Yep.
Okay. So he was midway through his first session with his client. It was about 7:45 a.m. on a Tuesday when he noticed the police officer was hanging by the gym door. So he asked the cop if he needed help. And then the cop said there was a report of gunshots at the gym and that he himself, so Jamie.
Jamie.
So he himself had called them. And Jamie goes, no, I didn't call them. And then they said, well, and then next minute, 15 police officers, 15, including undercover police officers showing up. Several ambulances are parked out the front. And this stage, he says, I quote, I started bricking myself.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Rightly so, Jamie.
The officer has advised him to check his dialed numbers to make sure that a call was placed from his phone because an alternate number for emergency services is 112.
From your mobile, yeah.
So,
I didn't know that.
He's checked his phone and it's got 112 there. And then he's going, wait there, what's happening?
Yeah, he didn't even have his phone on him because
then
he was
realised.
doing a session.
Right, he's realised, now I wear an Apple Watch and this happens sometimes, not
No.
So he's wearing his Apple Watch during training and he's activated Siri, right? And what's happened at that time is he was training the person and yelling out 1, 1, 2.
He was yelling
as
out
he was pushing them through their punching combinations. And then, so that's called Siri. When the dispatcher has heard the call, the sound of punches and slamming on pads, following by him saying, good shot, was heard, and they assumed it was gunshots.
Shooting.
And then Siri automatically sent the location.
Yes.
And that's why all the emergency services rocked up, because they thought there was a gunman killing people.
I love that they think there's a gunman, right? But the police officer, the first one, there just sort of hangs around in the door.
Yes.
It's like, is that how you respond to a full-on shooting incident?
just check it
Shouldn't
out.
you be like, I don't know, you sidle up to the door and look around the corner.
Unsurprisingly, he's now deactivated Siri from his watch.
Good idea, Jamie.
Yeah. I tell you, she goes off. She goes off sometimes on this show.
When we're
She's so
talking,
intrusive.
Yeah,
If I say seriously, well, no, it's not doing one now, but sometimes when I say seriously or are you serious, suddenly she comes like, may I help you? It's like, shut up, we're on the radio. Nathan, Nat and Shaun,
Siri.
not Nathan, Nat and Siri.
We're talking
for the
about
gums.
when Siri, Alexa or Google start interfering in your life by just taking things on themselves.
Yes, bloody virtual assistants. Emma's in Success. Hi, Emma.
Oh, hi. Good morning. How you going?
Good. All right. So what's the issue? What happened?
So I was, prior to hanging out with my in-laws, I was watching a saucy video on a particular website ending in Hub, which I think we all know.
Sushi Hub.
Yeah,
keep going.
Yeah,
Excellent,
Sushi
too.
Hub, exactly. And anyway, I was telling my mother-in-law about a thing I was currently watching on Netflix, and my Google voice cut in and said, last video watched, and started reading out the title.
Emma,
that's hilarious.
Emma.
It
That's
wasn't
mortifying.
at the time. I look back and laugh now, but it was awkward for sure.
It's a good reason why I don't have
no.
a Google, an Apple Watch on, Em.
Yeah, I know. That's like having a little kid that tells the truth around strangers. Like, that's
It
horrible.
was definitely jobbing on me, that's for sure.
Oh,
That is so
how
mortifying.
embarrassing. Okay, that is
Thanks,
the best.
Emma. All right, let's go to... We'll call her Stacey. Hi, Stace.
Hello, how are you?
Hello,
Hi,
Stacey.
What happened?
So I worked for DCP and I had some pretty full-on training. And in the training, we started talking about, experiences that we had gone through. And I had a pretty toxic mother growing up.
Yep.
And I was just talking about a time when I was driving home from a really hectic shift, thought I could depend on her. I said, hey, you know who? Can you call you know who? And I'm not going to say it because this is what happened to me.
Yeah.
And then it called her, and then I told her everything that was happening to me. It was pretty horrific. And then she was absolutely not doing what she should do as a mother. And then in training, I was explaining this scenario, and I'd said it again. So it called her. So I was completely bagging my mother out, saying how bad of a mother she is, all the things that she does to me, and she heard the whole thing because she answered the phone call.
It's like, hey, Stacey.
So what happened afterwards?
Yeah, we don't talk.
I was going to say, did that improve the relationship at all? No, she didn't see the error of her ways once she heard
You know when someone's accidentally called you, right? What do you do? Do you hang on the phone and listen, or do you do the respectful thing and hang up?
It depends what they're saying in that moment.
Because I'll try and yell. So say if you've accidentally called me, Sean, and then like I'll hang up.
Yep.
But if they were saying something particularly juicy at that moment when you started listening, you'd listen for a little bit.
Oh, no, you have to. But then again, also,
you do.
if you're going to start bitching about someone, right, do you always check to see if your phone's off?
Not enough is the answer to that.
Always, if you're going to say something really salacious, I check my phone and then I'll put it away, put it over there. And then
now you're going to have to do it with your watch, no?
Face up. Oh, no, my watch.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, that's a
That's a cautionary tale. Thank you, Stacey. Angela, hello.
Good morning, guys. How are we?
Hi, Angela.
Has a virtual assistant hurt you, Ange? What happened?
Well, I obviously use Siri when I'm driving because I'm hands-free and everything. And the other day I was trying to phone through to get through to the free. And I said, Siri, phone over. And she told me, you are currently driving and it's not advisable.
What?
Well, that's why it's hands-free.
But that's hands-free.
I know, but specifically talking to us.
It's not advisable. Okay, well, you know what? We have been known to steer some people off the road. So
she can call anyone else, just not us.
It's not advisable.
I might have tried an hour later and it went through, but at that point in time, Siri was like being responsible.
She wasn't having it. Siri's basically turned into your mum at that point.
We totally understand it, by the way.
I personally, I don't know what the problem is. I think this phone call's gone really well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Then we hear an explosion.
Yeah, that's right.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.